Here is the answer to last video's question. White's last move, queen to c2, was a big mistake since black can play the amazing move knight takes d4. What this move does is that it attacks the queen with the knight, and if white takes back, our bishop on b7 can take his bishop on g2. When we do so, his rook is trapped, and we will therefore win it on the next move. If you should play some random move, for example, knight to e2, we can take this rook. I hope that you found this really hard move. Today, we will be learning about the principles of the opening. There will be two examples. In the opening, whether you are black or white, your objective is to control the center squares, which are e4, d4, d5, and e4. The second goal is to get your knights and bishops out to good squares that can also control the center. And the third goal is to get your king castle. Here is an example of doing so. If white starts out with playing e4, it is a good move because it is controlling a center square, which is d5. It is also on the center square, which is e4. If black doesn't know what to do in the opening and plays a random move like a6, we can play d4. This move controls the other center square, e5, and it is now on d4. If black doesn't do anything again and plays a5, for example, we can now get our knights out and control e5 further. Let's say black still doesn't want to develop his pieces and plays b6. Now we can play knight to c3. This move gets the other knight out, and it is now controlling d5. Now, what if black still doesn't know what to do and plays h6? Then it is now time to get our bishops out. You can choose bishop to c4 or bishop to f4. It doesn't matter. Just choose one of them. We will be doing f4 this time. Let's just give black another useless move. For example, h5. Now, let's get the other bishop out and move it to c4. Can you see how this controls d5 and the other bishop controls e5? Now, white has full control of the central squares. What if black still doesn't know what to do and plays g6? Well, he's now in big trouble. We are very much ahead on development, and he has done nothing. Now it is safe to castle and get our king safe. Notice that when you castle, the rook is defending the king, and it is behind a wall of pawns. Let's just give black another move. Now, after you developed your knights and bishops and got your king safe, we can play a move like queen to e2. If black wants to play a move, it is really hard to, since his position is really cramped. For example, if he plays knight to c6, we can simply play d5 to kick him out. And if he wants to go here, that doesn't do anything because we can simply play a3. And he will have to be forced to go back to a6. therefore wasting 2 moves. As you can see, it's very important to do these things, or else you'll be in really big trouble. Here is another example of when one side does not develop well. Here is an example of what will happen if you don't bring your knights and bishops out quickly and instead you bring your queen. If after white plays e4 and black plays e5, which is perfectly normal because many people use this opening, and white gets really excited about controlling the center and plays d4. After black takes back, white might really want to get his pawn back and plays queen takes d4. Well, that isn't such a good move because black can play knight to f6, developing his knight whilst attacking the queen on d4. When the queen moves back to a square like d1, black can get another piece out, which means that black will already have 2 pieces and developed and white will have none. But if the white queen doesn't want to go back to d1 and plays a move like queen to c3, that is a big mistake because black can simply play bishop to b4. I hope that you could see that it pins the queen to the king, and therefore the queen will be lost. But what if the queen wants to be aggressive and plays queen to d5? Well, that also isn't a really good move because black can play knight to f6, developing the other knight and attacking the queen again. If the queen still doesn't want to go back and plays a move like queen to f4, white can play d5. Well, you might ask what this move does, but you might be able to see that when pushing d5, it will make a discovered attack on the queen. Now, if white moves his queen to a square like f4, it would be perfectly fine for you to just take the pawn, but you can play bishop to d6, further attacking the queen. And when, let's say, white finally realizes that there's no use trying to play aggressive with his queen and moves back to d2, black will have 3 pieces developed, and after he takes back with the knight and the queen moves again, black can choose to move his bishop out, for example, to f5 or to castle. Both are perfectly fine. Now, I will be giving you the challenge that as always will be in my next video. In this position, you are black and white has just played c8 equals queen, promoting his pawn to a queen. Now we are down 4 points, but what if I told you there was one spectacular move that will force a draw? The answer will be in my next video. I hope you can find it. That's it for today, and thank you for your time. If you enjoyed the content, please consider to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.